tackled in that way. So good decision by the referee.
It was a very good decision by the referee. Again, he's making he's doing well, very well indeed. I think we're seeing the debut of a referee star here.
I hope so there, Mike, because Malta Rugby is growing so quickly at the moment that so many teams are coming out from the woodwork now. So many players, it's growing so fast, and everybody, the technique and the skill levels improving drastically, and we need more referees. Can't complain. If someone wants to referee or get involved, volunteers or anyone, please do. Number 10 for Alligators, picking a good line, cutting back inside.
Devaney cutting through immediately.
Certainly has made a difference since he came back on the pitch there, Mike. Number 6 is picked and good from the wrap.
He's the scrum half, the stand-in scrum half of Beppe Samut.
And they're driving him forward. Maul.
That's Bujea.
Been brought down.
Very
been
close
brought down
now.
Quite legally.
They ought to be able to score.
Ball was on. No, that's fine.
Good
it's a
tackle.
Great
good
hit.
tackle.
Dislodged the ball. Alligators shipping the ball out. Hesitated. They had the overlap. 2v1. Didn't use it.
Robert Farrugia just didn't use the ball. He wanted to keep it himself. He should have passed the ball out or chipped. Here they go again. They've won the ball. This is good ball winning. But again, Barlow gave the ball away. He says he's a selfish runner and he doesn't think of passing.
Referee has seen an infringement at the tackle area there, Mike. Advantage of Sharks.
Probably the ball thrown forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, he's given a penalty. It's a straight
penalty,
arm penalty
playing it
there,
on
Mike.
the ground. Penalty on the
in
ground.
the side, I believe, at the tackle. In the side. Player coming in the side. Once a tackle has been made, there's an offside lines, and players need to come through what we call the gate, which is the distance between the side, the one end of the player to the other, from head to toe, if you like. There's an injured player down at the moment. Can't tell who it is, unfortunately, at the moment. Looks like a Sharks player.
I think it's Butcher Galia.
That's unfortunate. He's an outstanding player for Sharks at the moment. Let's hope he all gets back on his feet very quickly.
Yeah, Butcher's a big, strong lad, but he's also a bit injury prone. He plays so hard that he seems to injure himself.
Takes a lot to
bit.
bring that man down, Mike. I believe that even if he's got a little niggle, he'll still play. He's got a lot of heart and a lot of passion, determined to do well and succeed. He's, as you said before, Mike, he's got his first cap for Malta. He's involved with the national team, and he wants to do so for many years to come.
And this second half has been a very hard-fought game, but so far, no scores. No scores at all. So it's still 21-10 to Sharks, although the Gators have now started to put a bit of pressure on, and they're beginning to look as if they might claw some of it back. But still no score.
24 minutes played as well in the second half, Mike, so, you know.
Only 16 minutes to go.
Yes. Sharks need to kick this out to touch from the penalty. They've done that. Very good kick, made some distance just before their 10-metre line. No, sorry, no, it's about halfway between their 22 and their 10-metre line. Need a quick ball from this line out and run it down with the wing.
It's a beautiful day for rugby, not too hot. Ground's nice and soft. And the pitch is looking very good.
Sharks managed to win the line out. Got their line out. 12 the centre.
Good tackle.
Little bit greedy, thought he could make the gap, but didn't manage it. Good
Didn't
tackle
have the
by
speed.
Alligators. Ball went back. Picked out by Sharks. Maul.
It
now
looks like Sharks are going to get the ball, though.
It's now
it looks like Sharks have got it.
Advantage to Sharks. Alligators impeding again.
And he's off.
And Ian Borda's away for Sharks.
This is the
He's
experience
been
of
caught.
an
Needs
international.
support offload. Unfortunately, went on his own. Players didn't react quickly enough. Tackle's been made. Players diving in for the ball there. Ball's out from the ruck. Referee didn't see that, unfortunately. Players just diving in.
Ian Border is Malta's most capped player. He's won more
Ball went
international
forward
caps
into
than
touch
anyone
there
else.
From the number
And
2, the hooker. In the tackle there, Mike, the player was tackled and the ball went forward and into touch. The first infringement was as the ball went forward before it went into touch, so there'll be a 5-metre scrum dead on the halfway line there, Mike.
And the referee actually asked the touch judge, very good refereeing yet again. He asked the touch judge whether it had gone forward in the tackle. He checked it out. Now he's having a word with Adrian Hillman, sorting him out.
Possession won by Alligators. It was their put in.
Here goes Devaney, and he's going to kick into the corner.
Number 11, the wing, needs to react quickly. 2 men coming up.
He's right on top of him. Oh, he touched it down, took it down.
He took it back down and gave a 5-metre scrum to the attacking side.
Well, that was a decision that...
Need to look at the replay there, Mike. I think he could have done something else with that one there. Could have stepped the player and ran down, maybe, or kicked the ball back.
Not necessarily. He might, because Devaney had him in his sights. He would have been tackled over the line or tackled on the line. It might have been worse. He took a pragmatic decision there. Sometimes you have to.
Sometimes going backwards. Sometimes going backwards. It is a good decision sometimes, Mike, but unfortunately he's gave possession away by giving the touchdown. Okay, scrum's not. It's not a good scrum. Referees stopped it straight away just to make sure there's no injuries. The surface being so soft, the players are slipping a little bit, and the referee is pinging it straight away to make sure that players are okay and staying on their feet and not injured. Good decision. Well done.
Now, Alligators, the time is running out. Alligators have got to score, because if they don't score soon, there's not going to be time. And they're doing a lot of pressing. The morale of the side needs a score. When you're pressing like this and you don't score, you get downhearted.
Good. Scrum again for Alligators. Number 14, the wingers came in for that ball. Missed tackle by McAuliffe Moreno. They've got him though. They managed to get him.
But there was a man outside and they didn't pass. He tried to score himself and he didn't pass. Yet again, the man at the scrum half tried to score himself and he didn't get across.
I think Sharks have turned it over. Yes, they have. They've turned it over.
Gators are throwing this game away because they are not thinking.
Sharks need to chase this down. It's a good catch.
Beautiful catch. Beautiful catch.
Covering number 11. Alligators need to come out of the 10. Yes, referee's seen it. Player never came out the 10-metre circle area. Imagine a 10-metre line circle area around where the ball landed, giving advantage to Sharks. Players need to retreat if they're in front of the player that would kick the ball back.
He's given it now, and Sharks are going to clear because of the penalty. Very silly.
Referee just checking the number of the player that infringed.
Very silly, ill discipline by Alligators. They are beating themselves at the moment.
Penalty to Sharks.
So the pressure is off them again.
Still no score in the second half, Mike, with around 29 minutes played. 30 minutes played.
10 or 11 minutes to go, that's all.
Kick into touch by Sharks once again, line out. Line out is around the 22-metre line.
And away go
Alligators
Gators. Now
managed to
this
steal
should
that
be a
ball at the
score.
line out.
This
They've
should be
got
a score. He
possession.
hasn't got any... Oh, he knocked it on again. That's
Bounds
the
beat
second
the player,
time.
knocked on by number 10 for Alligators. Bounds beat the player. That's one thing in rugby. The ball was a little bit odd shaped, so unfortunately you can't tell which way the ball was going to bounce.
And here goes
Unfortunately,
Leopold. Here
Bounds
goes
beat the man.
Leopold. Nice little run. Oh, bit of a late tackle there by Aquilina.
Referee didn't give it though because it looked like that he was committed to the tackle.
And here goes
McCullough
Moreno.
revved off on a break down the
Moreno's
wing.
going
He's
all
got
the way.
legs. Yes, he's going to make it.
All the way,
And
Moreno.
the coming in as well afterwards. Good sportsmanship, shaking hands.
I didn't think that Moreno had those legs. But
No,
that
they're
was
short
a
and
great...
stumpy, but he has got them. He can run when he wants to.
Well, that should decide the match, because that means that's 26-10 now to
Try under the
Sharks.
post as well, so it should be a simple conversion for the added 2-point bonus.
Moreno told me before the game, he said that we're going to win this. Our tails are up, we've had 2 wins, and we are going to win this one.
Yes,
And he's right.
any win, no matter how it comes, Mike, is one
And
of
a
those
drop
things.
goal,
And
he
a
got it. So that's
drop goal attempt by Xavier Aquilina.
28-10.
28-10 conversion attempt, drop goal. He can do that. Doesn't need to have the kick and tee. Quite legal, quite right. Good decision. Well done. 28 points to 10
Great
with around
50-metre run.
played.
Great 50-metre run by Moreno. And it was against the run of the play, but it's the sort of thing that really demoralises a side to have something like that against them. Number 19, Zig has gone on. He looks big.
McCullough Moreno has actually came off now. He's being substituted after scoring that 50-metre try. Must have tired himself out there, Mike.
He can hardly walk off. If you look at him, he can hardly walk off. Now here come the Gators. The Gators have got to do something now. They really have got to do something now.
Sharks. All Sharks need to do is just keep possession of the ball, not to do nothing silly, and the game should be wrapped up. They're finishing the game off well, finishing the stronger.
Ooh, a knock on. That's a
Just
big
as
error. Right at that, a bad pass and a silly knock on.
Typical commentary remark. You say all they have to do is something, and then the opposite happens. It's one of those things.
But then again, Gators holding on to the ball when all they have to do is pass it out, and there's a man over out there on the right wing, and nobody is passing to him. If ever a side has committed suicide today, it's the Alligators.
Butcher Gallagher making the tackle there. Number 20 for Alligators, hand off and spinning out of tackle. Good, well done. Good defence as well by Sharks. They're not committing numbers.
That
into
was
the
good
ruck.
ball at last. And there's a good ball into the chip, a chip into the hole.
Yes, it's the same thing. No, referee's giving advantage for not being in the 10 metres after the
But
kick.
the referee had it. He had it immediately. His hand went up. Sean Dubelstein refereeing beautifully. Offside. Sharks. Silly offside. Inexperience.
When something like that happens, Mike, the referee has an option to give the player, the captain of the team. They can either take a penalty from where the infringement was, or a scrum from where the ball was kicked.
They don't seem to know what they want to do, Alligators. Now they want to run with it, or they want to take a penalty.
Well, they need to run with it, Mike. The clock is ticking down, and they are a few points behind.
They've now finally made it. They've wasted several minutes deciding. And away goes this number 18, big fella. But there are big fellas on the Sharks side, so it's a hiding to nothing to bounce up against these men. Again, the ball.
Alligators
Again,
need
they're
to shift
just
this ball out
running.
wide there, Mike. They have a now they've lost it now.
They've
Mike.
lost it
They've
again
lost
now.
their chance.
At last they've
they've
scored.
scored.
At last
They've
they've
scored.
scored. At last they've scored.
Went in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Seen that the defensive Sharks had moved over to cover the wing on the right-hand side of the pitch, and the player picked up and went the other way. Good decision.
It's
well
Bujaya,
read.
the scrum half, or he was the flanker who has now gone to scrum half, and they deserved that score because they've been pressing for most of the half. But they
28 points to 15 now, Mike.
to 15, 28-15, yep. But this is a side who has done its best to let Sharks win, but Sharks have played very well too.
Yes, they've won some key possession in the contact area, around the tackle area, and that's what's gave them the momentum and turnover ball, and they've been going forward well, Mike, so well deserved so far.
No,
Kick not successful, missed the kick. In front of the post as well. That determined to get the kick, he must have just pulled it out wide. Unfortunate.
One of the criticisms I have of Maltese rugby is that not enough players practice these kicks. Conversion kicks and penalty kicks. And it's a thing that you have to practice.
Unfortunately, Mike, the Malta Rugby don't have the facilities to be able to practice their kicking, because most of the clubs, in fact all the clubs, have training on school pitches that are associated with their town that they're associated with. For example, Ormy Sharks train at Handat, and Alligators are training at St Aloysius, and obviously with St Aloysius College being a very big pitch, they only get half the pitch because obviously the football is using the other half, so kicking is a very hard thing to practice.
Well, one of the greatest English kickers there was, he used to go and practice anywhere he could. And with the greatest of respect, it's not an excuse.
That ball has been kicked dead from the restart, so they can either have the kick again or a scrum at the centre.
And they picked a scrum at the centre.
Yes, yes they have. Sharks need to just keep their focus, just for the last remaining minutes of the game, keeping their focus, not to give silly mistakes away and let Alligators back into the match. Defensive line have set up for Sharks opposite their numbers. Balls came straight back out in that scrum there, Mike. They're going to reset that scrum. Same put in.
It looks as if Devane has come off again. He's not on the pitch at the moment. He's been substituted. We have rolling subs in Maltese rugby. That means they can come on and off the field. And obviously you're not allowed to have more than 15 on the pitch at the same time.
Turned over by Sharks in the scrum, picked up by Aquilina.
One against the head,
a fantastic
Aquilina.
game. Oh! Great pass out to the winger, coming down the 13 for Sharks. Seychelles, unfortunately, couldn't get his fingers onto the ball and just knocked it on. Couldn't get his hands onto it. Hard lines. 39 minutes played, only a few minutes left, depending on how long the referee plays for any injury time or extra time.
And there hasn't been that much, I don't think, this half.
Only a couple of stoppages, Mike. Maybe a few minutes, if anything. Scrum down Alligators from the knock-on from Sharks. Sharks doing very well in that scrum, pushing them back.
Good push, and that was a forward pass, but the referee was badly placed to see it, so he couldn't pick it up. Oh, nice take.
The winger for Sharks.
Nice take.
Yes. Right, he's got to present that ball now. He's managed. The ball is there. Ball is there. Scrum half.
Coming out Sharks again. Sharks could score again from this.
In fact, the person that been tackled was back on his feet straight away. Unfortunately, a mistake by Sharks.
Aquilina dropped a simple ball because he did the thing of looking at the man and not keeping his eye on the ball. You must keep your eye on the ball.
Okay, we've got a scrum near the centre of the pitch. Alligators came very, very strongly out in the first half. very good game to start with from Alligators, scoring the first try. Sharks came back into it, drew the game, then Alligators took a penalty attempt, converted it 10 points to 7. After that, Sharks have took control of the game, managed well, running down the clock now, keeping Alligators in the second half pinned back into their half. Sharks are now on the run again. Went back. The ball went back. Referee says play on. Alligators came back into the game a little bit in the second half, scoring.
But Sharks are much hungrier for the ball all the time.
Yes.
They want the ball, they want the win.
Unfortunately, Mike, what's happened is Alligators have missed a few key players through injuries during the game, and that's left a little bit of indiscipline and a little bit lost their structure a little bit.
They've lost their key players.
Yes, they have, yes. But Sharks have, with the game so far, Sharks have deserved to come away with this victory. They've certainly went forward and kicked possession and territorial and played a very good kicking game. Referee playing advantage to Alligators for the knock-on from Sharks. Alligators trying to run the ball out.
Oh, interception by the Sharks. Interception and another break, but they've caught him.
The hooker for Sharks making a sprint down the wing.
Attard making a sprint down the wing. That was a good interception and a loose pass. Away come Alligators again with the ball.
Referee playing into injury time now. Alligators coming up with the ball. All Sharks need to do is just hold and keep the discipline, not to give penalties away.
Gators winning again. Gators winning the ball. But when they had again 3 men outside him and he took the man on in front of him.
Yes, unfortunately
ridiculous.
That's been some of the mistakes for Alligators. They've had the men overlap and they haven't used it. And
it's selfish play, but they're not thinking. That was a good win.
Nearly turned it over. Yes, they have turned it over. Okay. Full time.
Game over. Game
Sharks
over.
win. Sharks